All right. Well, there we go. I think we are actually live on LinkedIn for the first time. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm good. I can confirm that you are live on LinkedIn for the first time because I'm getting my notifications that Jake Hall is live. So you're doing
Fantastic.
well. It's
Awesome. Gretchen, hello. Joe, how's it going, man? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, guys, thanks for joining us on LinkedIn. We're live right now on LinkedIn, Facebook, and on YouTube. So one of those things that we're excited about is bringing more live conversation and chats with you guys. You see our faces a lot on podcasts and webinars and on daily videos, but this just gives us another chance to have a conversation with you guys outside of, gosh, manufacturing happy hour that we're doing a lot of. We're doing a lot of conversations on Clubhouse right now. That seems to be the big thing. But, Chris, how are you doing tonight, man?
I'm good. I was going to say, if this was truly a restream, we'd probably found a way to break into Clubhouse and have this going on there as well. But one step at a time. But man, I think you and I were just chatting. Things are going crazy for us and in the industry right now in a good way. There's just a lot of work going on right now. People are starting to take action on a lot of these things that have been opportunities, that have been challenges facing the industry. So it's cool to be doing a little a manufacturing after dark chat, as we'll call it right now.
For sure, for sure. And this is really cool with Restream. I got everyone's conversations happening. So James, David, Martin. Hey, Martin, how's it going, man? Dave. Yeah, you guys, it's really exciting to see all these conversations happening. And what's really cool is I can do this feature, Chris.
Yeah.
And boom, I think everyone, if people were to start happening in chat right now, I think this is actually going to be happening where they can see their conversation. There we go, live. Awesome.
Yep. So, that's pretty cool.
Chris, what is going on with your week this week? Guys, for conversation, tonight's really about just getting comfortable with the live settings. So we really don't have a ton of stuff discussing with you guys other than what is happening in our lives. So if you guys have a fun story, you guys have something on, let us know as well. But Chris, what's going on with your week?
Yeah, so a lot of podcasts, really, and then prepping for Automate Forward, which is next week. We'll get into that a little bit later. But, I'll just start with the most current thing. I just got done with a great conversation with a gentleman named Andrew Crow. He is a professor of advanced manufacturing technology at Rankin Technical College in St. Louis, Missouri. And he's also doing some really cool things right now to make manufacturing more accessible, increase representation, get kids involved in a young age. I don't want to give too much away yet. That podcast is going to drop in 2 weeks, but honestly, I'll leave it at this. He is leading, the way he describes it, he's leading the new American manufacturing renaissance. And, it's really built around a lot of the things you can imagine, like getting the next generation exposed to new technology, really trying to create an ecosphere between employers, the next generation of talent, and the technical schools that educate these folks. So I am excited to share that guy's story, not just because he's a St. Louis guy like myself, but we're
going. I'm pulling out the blue this time.
I was gonna say, like, you just switched from one Cubs hat to another Cubs hat. You're like a cartoon character, but that's what all your branding is built around. So you're nailing it. But yeah, just hearing Andrew's passion earlier today was super exciting. He's an energizer in this space. Anyone that talks to him is all on board with his mission. And you can learn more about that here in 2 weeks. But anyway, great conversation to get me pumped up for an evening of more efforts in manufacturing. It's like, the days don't end right now in a good way, just some positive activity going on in our industry. What about yourself?
It's another week just of exciting stuff happening. I was on 2 different conversations today with companies about addressing the issues of labor force retention. And there was a statistic put out where I have to go back and look at it, Chris, but they were saying 78% of millennials who are currently in manufacturing do not believe they're going to be working the same job in 2 years. So that statistic right there just blows my mind. Okay, do they see themselves advancing? Do they see themselves moving up in the manufacturing world? Do they see themselves as manufacturing as a stepping stone? And just a lot of conversations as I get more in depth with people on LinkedIn and networking and having great conversations. It's amazing to see how all these different organizations across really America and the world are addressing the manufacturing issues of labor shortage and job retention. Martin is one of those guys who's on in chat right now who talks about like 60,000. There's 60,000 open jobs right now in the Chicago-based area, which is just crazy to think about how much of a demand there is for manufacturing space. So some great conversations there. Chris, as well, we have another webinar that we're going to be doing on LinkedIn Live, Thursday this week at 3:30.
Yep.
Which is going to be the kickoff for Automate Forward. So Automate Forward is the virtual event that normally is in person that happens in the McCormick Center that A3 puts on, RIA, and a bunch of those great association organizations. We're doing a virtual event next year, and myself and Chris are going to be doing a midday meetup every day, Monday through Friday, from 12:30 to 1 o'clock, interviewing some phenomenal leaders in the industry from places like Fanuc and UR and Auto Robotics and Calvary, just a bunch of phenomenal conversations. And then later that week, you're also doing Manufacturing Happy Hour, but for Automate.
Exactly. So Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, we're going to be doing a manufacturing and automation in the beer industry session. I host monthly calls with my manufacturing happy hour industry community, and it's usually fireside chats to address a lot of the things you just mentioned, like the workforce skills gap. We're doing a special edition of that as part of Automate. So Wednesday, we'll be talking beer. We'll be talking manufacturing in a very meta type way in accordance with the manufacturing happy hour ethos. So that should be a lot of fun. The midday meetups, stoked for those as well. That's going to be happening every day. It's going to be a busy week and a lot of good discussions that I'm excited for.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. And, we're all looking forward for you guys being a part of those events as well. So, yeah, Chris, super excited about that. For us as doing a quick LinkedIn Live tonight, I think it was successful. I see that we're up on YouTube, we're up on Facebook, and we're up on LinkedIn. So Megan and Mike and Greg, thanks you guys for all commenting in chat. But yeah, Chris, is there anything else that you wanted to cover tonight for just a quick, opening ceremony before we have our official kickoff on Thursday?
Opening ceremony. Well, I'm trying to make sure I don't give too much away before Thursday. I want to make sure we're giving folks a reason to come back. I would say in between now and then, happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Wonderful holiday we have coming up tomorrow. So enjoy a Guinness, probably 6 feet apart still. I know it's the second year in a row where we have to take St. Patrick's Day back a notch, but I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't wish people St. Patrick's Day here. But no, I'd come back on Thursday for the real kickoff at that point. We've got our systems running. We're seeing that we can get some good dialogue going. Megan, wow, we're getting some. What I love is that we have two very different crowds here in terms of baseball allegiances. So
unbelievable.
Yeah. I think it was Megan that threw. Yeah, Megan threw down earlier. Boo Cardinals. Matt just jumped in. Cubs suck. So we're about 50-50 split as you might expect here in the Midwest right now. So,
yeah. But it's great conversations as always. That's the one thing that threw me off when we did your podcast. If you guys haven't listened to the podcast where Chris interviews, we talking about the Manufacturing Millennial. He definitely threw me in a surprise when he put on that St. Louis Cardinals hat, but all in good fun.
I had been planning that for months. Once I realized you were building your brand partially around having that Cubs hat on, I'm like, I'm going to pull out the stops for this one. So it was good stuff.
And it's funny. It goes back to, I think this is like before I had 500 followers on LinkedIn. I can't remember who pointed me to you and said, you need to check out Chris's page on Manufacturing Happy Hour because he's the guy that's making manufacturing fun. And in a unique way and approach about it. So, like the whole thing, it literally goes back to, I was watching your videos before I even had this thing called Manufacturing Millennial. So it's a fun story for sure.
Well, I like that we're having more people getting involved because, I started it and it was really low key when I started it 4 years ago. I'd say it really started to pick up steam a year and a half ago. Then you started doing your videos, which are like I describe as quick hit how it's made videos. Yeah. You see a different manufacturing process, for like a minute or so every day that you're popping up on LinkedIn, and those things I mean, to say they go viral every day, I don't think is an exaggeration. They get way more engagement than I see most type of LinkedIn posts. So between that, like Andrew, who I was mentioning earlier, he's our age as well. He's out there, promoting all the good things that manufacturing can do for your life, your career. So it's cool to see a bigger critical mass at this point.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's the best part where I enjoy the videos is like when I get messages saying, "Hey, Jake, I showed my kid that video on how Lego was made or, how tennis balls are made or something like that." That's what's excited me is to show inspiration to these kids who are playing with the toys or their everyday items that they're working with to see, wow, that's how this manufacturing process is made. There's a robot behind it. There's this special tool behind it. That's what's just exciting to say. There's so much more to manufacturing than just what we think of as the automotive world with a bunch of robots in a dirty factory.
Right. And I think you're also on the business development. You've got that sales background as well. I'm excited to see more companies kind of adopt that mentality around what I'll just call cool content as well. It doesn't have to be like posting a catalog excerpt on LinkedIn all the time. You can do things that not only show how your technology works in a cool way, but you can also show the people behind that technology that humanize that. And that's always been one of the goals of Manufacturing Happy Hours, to get to know the people and the stories behind all of these processes and businesses.
100%. So real quick, I'm actually going to bring up, I need to get the names of who's going to be joining us on Thursday real quick, Chris, but I'm super excited about it. If I can find my
Take your time. I can keep the folks entertained in the meantime. I want to give a shout out to Phil, who's joined our conversation. Sean, good to see you as well. It's been great. Craig, welcome. Just saw your message pop up. This is awesome. We hope to see this type of engagement as we're doing this in prime time all through next week. This one was an impromptu test run, for lack of a better word. But when we're doing these every lunch hour next week and then on Wednesday evening as well, it's going to be a good time to make connections, have conversations, and get involved in the industry.
Absolutely. So this upcoming Thursday at 3:30, we're going to be putting another invite out. This is 3:30 Eastern. We're going to have a couple of great people in the industry. We're going to have Milton Gurry, who's the president of Shunk, one of the leaders in clamping and gripping that you see all the time on the end of arm tooling and robots and cobots. So Milton's going to be joining us. And then as well, we are actually going to have Joe Gemma, who's the president of Calvary Robotics. And so we're going to have just two great leaders having some leading conversation, really kicking off into Automate Forward next week, which is just going to have a bunch of great, really conversations, 80 speakers, everything from robotics to industry to cybersecurity to Industry 4.0, AGVs, AMR. It's really going to be just some exciting stuff. So Chris and I, we're going to be promoting that and working with Automate and A3 on that organization going forward. But yeah, hopefully you guys can join us as well and listen to some of those amazing webinars that Chris and I will be doing as well.
Going to be a good time. Looking forward to seeing everyone there. Thanks for everyone that jumped on tonight and got the conversation started with us a little early.
Absolutely. Well, you guys all have a wonderful night, and we'll catch you in a couple days.
Stay innovative. Stay thirsty. Bye.